Let's go, pal.
What is up guys, Bailey here, bringing you my first Fallout 4 video. Today, I'll be talking to you about the possible storyline and first quest we are faced with in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 will take place in Boston, roughly in the year 2277, which is about 30 years after Fallout 3. This is just an estimate now, as I will explain later. The game begins in your home before the post-apocalyptic, and on the day the nuke hits, which is on Saturday, October the 23rd, 2077, which was called the Great War. You start off like any other Fallout game, creating your character. After you've finished creating your character, you are free to roam around your home, where you are married and have a child. You are set with doing basic objectives to learn the controls of the game. After this, you will receive a knock at the door, where you are greeted by a Vault-Tec employee, where you sign up to be enlisted for the Vault with your family. With doing this, you select your special, which is your stats to begin with, and your name. After doing this, you go to see your child and then are called to the living room by Codsworth, which is your own personal robot, to watch the news. The broadcast on the news informs the character that nuclear detonation on United States is about to begin. You and your family run to Vault 111 with other people in your neighborhood trying to evacuate too. You finally reach Vault 111, where you are standing on top of it with your family and other enlisted members of the Vault 111 when the bombs drop. Now you do survive and get lowered into the vault. Events transpire, but then you emerge 200 years later as the sole survivor of Vault 111. Now this is how much we know of the story so far from what Bethesda has told us. But from what I'm about to tell you, you can believe me or not, but it is heavily backed up with evidence, and it's what I believe to happen in the story. In November 2013, Kotaku received several documents from a Kotaku reader from a casting call project named The Institute. The casting documents were confirmed real and include scripts and character descriptions and details of what they believed at the time was Fallout 4. As you know, if you're a fan of the Fallout series, you'll know that the Institute is a mysterious organization within the Commonwealth, and it is known to possess advanced technology, including the ability to produce androids of high enough quality to pass as humans. Anyway, let's take a look at the two documents that Kotaku released. Before I begin reading this, I would like to point out how the picture of the player is very similar, if not identical, to the player we are shown from the footage of Fallout 4. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather serving in the army wondered when he'd get to go home to see his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the US ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as nearly a limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. We now stand on the brink of total war, and I am afraid for myself, for my wife, for my infant son, because if time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes. Now, from what I said before, when the bombs drop, there's a sudden blackout, and we don't know what happened until we emerge 200 years later. But from my perspective, when this happens, we are followed with these lines showed in the leaked documents. After these lines are said, we awake from a cryogenic sleep, which is also mentioned on the same page in Vault 111, with no recognition of what happened, and suddenly have the objective to find where our wife and child are. After escaping Vault 111 and collecting our Pip-Boy, we are set to roam the world of Fallout 4 and do whatever we want. Now, as from playing Fallout 3, speaking from my behalf, I didn't explore straight away, and I ventured to a town called Megaton, which was linked to the story. I believe this is what we are set to do in Fallout 4, where we make our way back to our home, where we see it destroyed and our robot is still waiting for us there, as we were shown in the Fallout 4 gameplay. From that, we meet our first companion, which is a dog, and then set off into the wasteland, possibly searching for our family. From the latest Fallout 4 gameplay for Xbox One at E3 2015, we are shown yet the same gameplay, but a bit more this time, and possibly one of the first quests that most people are more likely to become stumbled on. This quest involves killing a bunch of raiders attacking the Museum of Freedom. Once you have done this, you hear a voice from a balcony from the Museum of Freedom and the man asking for your help inside, where there's more raiders attacking. After killing all the raiders in the Museum of Freedom, we meet Preston Garvey. Now back to the leaked documents for the second page that was posted, where you see this script which includes the player and Preston Garvey. Man, I don't know who you are, but your time is impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen. So, who are these people and what can I do to help? Just folks looking for a new home, a fresh start. As for getting out of this mess, we do have one idea. One good idea can make all the difference. There's a crashed chopper up on the roof of this place. If you could find a way up there and get the fusion core out of the battery compartment, we could power up our weapons and maybe just make it out of this place alive. That sounds like a suicide mission. The answer's no. I'm out. Well, if you got a better plan, then let's hear it. Museums need a lot of power, right? That means an on-site fusion grid. I bet there's a fusion core in this very build. You'll have to cover me from here, and I'll need one of those rifles. Well, alright. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. But when this thing is over, I keep the toys. The rifle and the fusion core. Wish me luck. From the gameplay, we hear Preston Garvey repeat these exact words, but not much is shown in the gameplay.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey.
The script shows the rest of the quest and what is set to do for it and our reward. After accepting the quest, you find the fusion core and make your way to the roof where you find some power armor. This could possibly be the starting of power armor that we are given before we can customize it in the future. After getting to the power armor, you take out the rest of the raiders outside and a Deathclaw which is appear to clear a path for Preston Garvey and his people. Now that is as much as I know so far from quests and the story, but if I find out more, I will be sure to make a video on it. But from what we know is the script that was leaked is definitely being used within the game. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and drop a comment, tell me what you think of this quest and the Fallout 4 story that we know so far. And if you're not already, I want to see more news of Fallout 4, hit that subscribe button too. And guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.